So we've done the sales budget, which tells us how many bats we think we will sell. And we have just done the production budget, which shows us how many bats we will need to make. Now that we know how many bats we need to make, we can make a budget to determine how many direct materials we need to purchase. Remember that we may already have some direct materials on hand, and we probably want to have some left over at the end of the period too. So we are now working on our direct materials budget. So the first thing we need for our direct materials budget is the number of bats we need to produce. And we get that from our production budget. So the number of youth bats that we need to make is 750. Budgeted bats to be produced. And here are our adult bats, 3210, which gives us a total of 3,960. So now that we know how many bats we need to produce, we can start figuring out the direct materials. So the direct materials cost per unit is over here. $7 for a youth bat and $9 per adult bat. 7 for youth, 9 for the adult. So what this means is it takes, for a youth bat, takes $7 of direct materials like wood to make the bat. And for an adult bat, it takes $9, a little bit more to make an adult bat. $9 of direct materials. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the materials needed for production. To calculate that, you take the number of bats we need to produce, 750, times the cost of the direct materials gives us the amount of direct materials needed for production. So we're going to take 750 times 7. Gives us 5,250 for the youth bats. Adult bats, we need 3,210 times $9 of direct materials. Gives us $28,890 of direct materials for the adult bats. Now we just need to add those two up, and that gives us our total direct materials needed for production. 28,890 plus 5,250 gives us $34,140. Again, that's direct materials that we need for production. And then we're going to add the amount of materials that we want in ending inventory. Letter E tells us the desired ending raw materials inventory is $12,000. Indirect materials are insignificant and are not considered for budgeting purposes. So all this raw materials is specifically direct materials. So what this means is at the end of the quarter, we want to have $12,000 of raw materials. So remember, again, this $34,140 means that's how much direct materials we need just to produce the bats. Plus, we want to have 12,000 left over at the end. We're going to add those two up to give us our total direct materials needed. 34,140 plus 12,000 gives us $46,140 of direct materials needed. And then we have to subtract how much materials were already in inventory at the beginning of the period. To figure that out, if any, we look up here. So in our balance sheet, remember this is the balance sheet for December, so the previous quarter. So at the ending of the previous quarter, we had $12,000 of raw materials in the raw materials inventory account. That means our beginning inventory is $12,000. So we have to subtract our beginning direct materials inventory. Why? Because we already have some. So we don't need to buy $46,140 of direct materials if we have already got $12,000 on hand. So now we're just going to subtract these two. 46,140 minus 12,000 gives us 34,140. And this is the amount of direct materials we need to purchase. So now that we know how many bats we need to manufacture, 3960, after calculating the direct materials, we're going to calculate the direct labor required, and that will be in our next video.